Next on Newsmakers, balancing the demand for transit services in King County with declining tax revenue. That's coming up. Hi, welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Sabrina Register. We're at the annual meeting of the Association of Washington Cities and the Tri-Cities. And joining me right now is the Deputy Mayor of Shoreline, Washington, Chris Egan. Thanks so much for coming on the program. It's a pleasure to meet you. Before we talk about transit services, regional transit issues, let's talk about Shoreline. Many people are familiar with it, of course, just north of Seattle. But how many people call it home?
53,000.
And it's growing?
It is growing slowly, but not as fast as you'd anticipate.
Okay, slowly but surely.
Right.
Okay, let's talk now about regional transit services. Of course, this is an important topic. A lot of people are very interested in it. You sit on a couple of boards. One board has kind of done its duty and dissolved. But talk about the in 2010 the Regional Transit Task Force. What was the purpose?
The purpose was to move beyond a previous policy for allocating transit. There was basically a political formula that had been agreed upon by various people. In the past, it was called 40-40-20 because if there was new transit, 40% would have to be put in East King County, 40% in South King County, and 20% in Seattle, the purpose being to try to improve service in the outlying regions. It had a number of problems. One of it was there was a wonky formula for connecting routes that went between regions. There were a number of practical problems, and that led to a great deal of political infighting about that formula. And it didn't look real good to grant funders and the legislature. They didn't have a lot of confidence that we would handle their money in an efficient, responsible manner. So clearly it needed to be changed. So the Regional Transit Task Force was tasked with that responsibility. There were 6 elected officials, 23 other stakeholders, had a lot of discussions, and came up with a policy that was focused more on service and the effects of transit decisions. 50% of the new transit is now allocated based on productivity, but with also a commitment to maintain connections throughout King County. And then we also started considering low-income, service to low-income and people of color in the transit allocation.
And I know, very important to this discussion is tax revenue, because without that tax revenue and rising costs, you have to make that decision, that difficult decision about declining the number of routes, eliminating routes.
And during that, this was the time when the recession was in full swing. The recession has led to a net reduction in tax revenue dedicated to transit of about 15%, and that we're unlikely to ever make that up. So clearly we need to find a new way to to fund that 15% if we don't want to see it cut.
Right now you're facing potentially 17% reduction.
That's correct.
Are you hopeful? I know you're hopeful, but are you fairly confident that the legislature can come up with the money?
The legislature doesn't come up with the money. All the legislature does is gives us permission to ask our taxpayers for it. And so we've tried to make that case to the legislators. And we have high hopes. There will be a vote this morning, and we hope it'll be positive.
Well, I wish you luck. Deputy Mayor Chris Egan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers.